Hear us, please let us know, guys, so that we can get this party started. All right, we have a very special guest on today, and we need to get cranking. We need
Oh
to get
yeah,
cranking on this.
let's hack the system.
Yeah, let's make sure that. Okay, just let us know when you guys can hear us, guys. Just let us know in the chat box. All right. Okay. All right. They say they can see us there. In.
Hey guys, welcome.
All right. All right. So it looks like everyone can hear us now, right? So, hello everyone. My name is Ty Zen, as it says on the screen right there. And today we have a very special guest. We always have special guests on this channel, guys. We don't bring bums on this channel, okay? We bring people who've made it so you guys can learn. This channel is about making life-changing money, life-changing finances, life-changing investing, okay? So with this today, we have Ian Balina. Say hello, Ian.
Hey, what's up, world? I'm
Okay.
honored to be here. I've been a long fan of Ty Zen from day one. Right,
Yeah.
Ty is an OG in this game, man. Ty was one of the few people here who kept it real in terms of investing in cryptocurrency. Right, talking about why we're here, life-changing profits. Right? Everybody else is talking about the technology and all this other stuff. I mean, that stuff is fine, right? But at the end of the day, it's about life-changing profits.
Right? Yeah. Hey, just for the people outside the U.S. who, they may have not, grew up in the ghetto like I did. They may not know what an OG is. Can you explain to them what an OG is?
Yeah. So an OG is an original gangster, right? So imagine like the Godfather, right? Like a wise person, right? Somebody elderly that is wise, has been through the ups and downs, and can mentor you and coach you, right?
I used to get into fights and shootouts with gangbangers when I was young in the hood and in the projects. But that was when I was a teenager. Okay, I'm in my mid-40s now. That is no longer part of my life. Okay, so so I just want to make sure that when I'm referring to OG original gangster, that people don't think I'm still doing that stuff. Okay,
right. Yeah.
Trade and invest in cryptocurrency. Right now full time. Okay, so the reason why I have Ian on our channel, guys, right, is because Ian's been following our channel for a while now, and when I went to the Token Summit in New York back in May this year, a few months ago, I saw Ian and his investing buddy, Hennick, who we'll have on the show later,
Yeah.
And the first thing that came out of these guys was like, dude, life-changing profits, life-changing profits. I'm like, now you guys hear us say that on our channel all the time. And LeonFood.com and I were like, who the hell's yelling life-changing profits all around us? And we look over our shoulders and we see Ian Balina, right? And he said, he's been following our channel for a long time. Thanked us, for, making him a bucket loads of money, truckloads of money. And, we got to talking there and he's really appreciative of what we did on our channel. It changed his life, and we told him, hey, we'd love to help. And one thing that really got our attention about you guys, a few things, right? And then I'll let you share some of your thoughts, Ian, was that you guys were saying that, hey, I can't believe you guys are talking about this and not charging people money for it and all this stuff. And I can't believe you guys are giving out this stuff for free, this information free on our channel. And the reason why we do that, guys, is because we got slaughtered when we first started. And we were the only investing channel around that talked about cryptocurrency, and nobody talked about it. And we're like, man, we'll share some of this with other people so they don't get slaughtered when they come into crypto. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you guys were talking about working at, and looking to retire and everything. So let's talk about your background, okay? Before you got into crypto, what were you doing? What's your background? Because a lot of times people think that you have to be like, come from a professional trading background, like, myself or David on our team. Talk about your background first before we get into crypto.
So my background, I was born in Kampala, Uganda as a kid, moved to America as a kid, grew up over here. I went to college. I have an engineering background. I have a bachelor's and master's in computer engineering, so I'm very technical. I was a software developer. After graduate school, went and worked at Deloitte as an IT consultant, then went and worked for 4 years at IBM. I joined IBM as a sales engineer. So I was working on IBM Watson Analytics, working with data and analytics for 3 years. going to Fortune 500 companies, selling them, right? I was basically that technical guy who'd go there, do demos, do proof of concepts. Then at my last year of IBM, I said, hey, hold up. The sales guys are making all the money. The sales guys have the big commission checks. So my last year, I switched over to enterprise sales, where I had to go there and hunt down my own deals and close deals. And I was doing that, working on the IBM cloud, covering all of North America. So while I was doing all of that, I also have a background as an entrepreneur. I founded multiple startups in college, and also while I was working with IBM. I'm an entrepreneur at heart, right? So I kind of came from the startup world of pitching to angel investors, venture capitalists, trying to raise money that way, right? Mm-hmm. Then somewhere while I was working at IBM, a buddy of mine from college said, hey, Ian, can you introduce me to the director of blockchain at IBM? And I'm like, why do you care for this? He was bugging me for like 1 month straight, right? So I'm like, all right, sure, cool, here's his email, here's his phone number, contact him, right? Then I'm like, hey, why do you care about this? So he told me he was launching his own crypto fund. He was making some good money investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I said, wait, Bitcoin? Like the drug dealer Bitcoin? Right? So from there, I just he's like, yeah, like you can actually invest in Bitcoin and make money on it, right? Because before I was kind of naive. I thought Bitcoin was only for anarchists, people who were against the government. I didn't know that you could make money on it, right? Me being an entrepreneur, I love making money and investing. And once
What year was that? What year was that, Ian?
Last year. This was last year.
Oh, just in 2016?
Yeah, 2016.
Man, you came a long ways, bro. Yeah. Everybody give him a thumbs up in the audience, man, in the live chats, man. Give him a thumbs up, man. Give that man a pat on the back. In 1 year of cryptocurrency investing, man made it. Yeah, you broke the corporate chains, bro.
In 1 year, yeah. It's pretty fast. It's pretty
you
fast.
Cut the golden handcuffs off of you.
Yeah. So I did kind of start initially doing some other stuff, right? So that kind of helped off, right? So, but in general, I began dabbling in it just more as, okay, let me experiment with this, right? But it wasn't until Token Summit where I met people real life, face to face, right? People like you, had dinner with you, other guys, people who made their money in Ethereum, all these other cryptocurrencies, right? That's when I came back and I went all in, hardcore, living and breathing cryptocurrencies to a point I was barely working, and I was basically just trading, investing, doing research on currencies to invest in, right? And that's when I went all in. It basically became a full-time day job around April, so even though I was still working.
Yeah. Hey, so talk about okay, so our first meeting at Token Summit, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So
you guys went crazy when we first saw you guys, man.
Yeah. So I was there with my boy Hen. And we're just seeing lots of other people, right? Then we're like, oh, snap, that's Tizen and his buddy, LeonFu.com. We're like, dude, let's go talk to them.
The Honorable Grandmaster is here.
Yeah. So at first we're kind of nervous. We're like, hey, like we aren't trying to be like groupies or whatever, just like fans or whatever. Yeah. But after all, you're like, you know what, man, this guy has like changed our lives, man. Like, let's just him and talk to him, take a picture with them. Right. Yeah. And I went up there, talk to you, and you just talking to you guys, you're very cool. You guys have done a lot for us. I mean, like, I recall every single day would come back after work as we're investing and stuff, right? Watching your videos, right? Like hour long videos, right? And the way you would break it down was so simple, right? And your goal was always the same goal we had, right? We're there really for life-changing profits, trying to change our lives, right? Yeah. And the way you're explaining stuff, right? Like how you invested in ICOs, right? Was just change our lives. That's why I'm here.
The grasshopper has now become the massa. I feel like you've taken the pebble out of the hand. Hey, where's the pebble? Hey, so here's the thing that really we met you guys and we took you guys out to dinner that night, because we on our team, the guys on our team were like, we just met these guys, and I'm like, yeah, man, but there's not too many people that watch our channel and actually go do this shit, man. Yeah. People will take action. They need to be rewarded. People will take action, need to be rewarded so that they can be inspired to keep going,
Absolutely,
and that's the reason why, we invited you guys out to dinner, we had a great time there, and, thanks for, the great night, Yeah. And it's inspiring, and this, that, if you want to soar like an eagle, you got to hang around, you know, a bunch of, you know, you cannot hang around a bunch of turkeys. You know, that's our saying all the time.
Yeah.
You know, a young eagle, hanging out with a young eagle is 1,000 times more life-changing profits than hanging out with an old turkey. Because they don't want to go nowhere. They can't go to the high levels. You know what I'm saying? At least, you know, so when we see guys like you, you know, back then, you know, we say, hey, you know what? These guys, they're hungry. They got what it takes. They're going to do something someday. And, you know, that's why I wanted to bring you back on, you know, because like that was in May. And then like 5 months later, you know, now you got your own channel, you know, and everything, you know. So talk about that transition from the time that I saw you until the time you decided to, you know, quit working for the man, you know, unshackle the golden handcuffs and let them go forever, man. And you know, because that's a scary part for a lot of people, you know, to go. You have a good 6-figure income, you know, so it's not like you left like a wage job or something.
Right.
So,
yeah. I mean, so my job was very nice. Like it's a dream job for most people, right? I was making a $250,000 for my job, right? So to give that up, I had to really believe like this is like the next big thing, the next big wave, right?
So what do you have to say to the people that are in similar shoes like you are? Because we have a lot of people that are in financially in a similar situation like you are, where they're scared to leave their job to pursue this full time. So what helped you?
I would say have a game plan, right? So for me, actually, my game plan began from I was in Tokyo on vacation, and because it was in January, first week of January, I said, hey, you know what? Why do I have to leave Tokyo? I love Tokyo. I wanted to just post up there for 3 months, you know, just meet the people, the culture. And I said, I have to go back because I have a job, right? So in a way, I was like, you know what? My job owns me, right? It's like, doesn't matter how much money I make. I'm still a 6-figure slave, basically, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to break that chain.
High-end slave.
High-end slave, right? So I said, like, this can't be possible, right?
It's slave masters.
Right. So I said, okay, let me figure out how to make my own income on the side, right? So I came back, I kind of launched my own platform. It was just more initially about advising millennials about finances, right? About how to find a nice 6-figure job, about how to side hustle, be an entrepreneur, right? But after Token Summit, I came back and I said, hey, you know what? This is a big space. Let me make a content around ICOs, right? So me having a background as a producer making films, right? I made a 1-hour-long video on ICOs and everything I learned from Token Summit, and that video kind of just blew up. It went viral. Now it has over 100 views.
You know what's funny was at Token Summit, you know, we didn't just talk to you. We talked to a bunch of other people that followed our channel also. And you know, one of the things that prompted us, you know, like you know, our team to invite you guys out, you know, your team out to dinner, you know, that night, you know, was because, like I said, man, not too many people take action, man. You know, people hear things, they say things, but they actually don't go do it, you know. Like, you have no idea how many people at the summit that I told them, like, hey, man, you know, start your own YouTube channel, man. Start becoming an influencer. Start building a network, man. You never know who you're going to meet and how they're going to help you make more money. You know, you might meet that one person, man, at that conference. I remember back before anybody even started broadcasting about cryptocurrency investing, we went to the Texas Bitcoin conference to speak there in 2014, right? Mm-hmm. We were invited to go speak there about NXT and Bitcoin. Yeah. I think, you know, I mean, you guys thought we were nuts, you know, talking about altcoin investing back 4 or 5 years ago, but we were nuts, right? And when we went there, we met Vitalik. We met Vitalik Buterin, you know, we were the first cryptocurrency investing channel to interview them about Vitalik, about Ethereum and launching it, you know. I can't believe, you know, I talked about punching him in the stomach back then and he ran off with my money, you know. You know, LeonFood.com till this day tells me, like, man, I can't believe when we first met Vitalik, he was 19 years old and you were a grown man. You talking about punching him in the stomach, he runs off with your Bitcoins. during the Ethereum crowd sale, ICO, you know, back then. Back then it was called a crowd sale, not an ICO, you know. So, but check this out, man. So, you know, I'm really happy and I want to congratulate you, you know, for having the courage to jump out there, start your own channel and everything. Let me ask you this. What inspired you to start your own channel, though, you know, after you became successful in crypto, you know? I
mean, so I had the channel before crypto.
Oh,
right? So,
okay.
So initially I was a vlogger. right? That's where my handle Diary of a Made Man comes from, right?
Okay.
So I was always making diaries of my life, right?
Okay.
Of the journey, right? So I would call it the journey towards greatness, right? Hustle to
Yeah.
greatness, right? So
Hustle to greatness. I like that. I like that.
yeah, yeah.
The only problem is back in the hood where I came from, anytime somebody was hustling, they ended up in jail or in prison, like yours truly, So I don't want to hustle no more. I just want to make life-changing profits.
Yeah, so at first it was just more of like a diary of traveling, right? Different
Yeah.
things, my personal vlog. Then eventually it became more kind of giving advice about how I got to where I am in terms of working my corporate job.
Yeah.
Then I just kind of switched over to doing some stuff on investing, and my audience said, "Hey, you know what? Stop doing all the other stuff. Just do cryptos. Just do cryptos full time."
Yeah.
Like I was like,
Yeah.
"All right, cool, sure." So I began talking more about cryptos, and that's when the audience kind of started to grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? To a point where now it's so big that I'm always surprised, right?
Yeah. Man, it took us like 3 years to get 10,000 subscribers, and it took you like 10 weeks.
Yeah.
That's good, man. I always have this belief, man, that the people like assign that, it's not what people do, but it's what the people that follow them accomplish that makes the difference. You know what I'm saying? So, when we talk to you and to other people that follow our channel and they've done really well for themselves, and they've turned around and helped other people as well too, if it took us 3 years to get 10,000 subscribers on our channel, and it took you 10 weeks to get 10,000 subscribers, and you've been following our channel before that, to us that's a huge that's a huge deal, because that means that the people that we're helping out, we can help them out faster and they can get to success faster, and you'll see that whenever the people from your channel turn around and help others. Is there feedback on this? Is the video being played on your side? Because mine, it's okay, started.
Oh, there is? All right, let me see.
All right, so that's okay. I'm gonna mute yours while I'm talking, and you can unmute yours whenever you're talking. Okay.
All right, yeah, I think it should be good.
Okay. All right. All right. So that's awesome to hear, man. That's awesome to hear. So back to that fear, man. Like can you like go into details, the exact game plan that you had to leave that corporate job? Because that is something that we have a lot of people that watch our channel. That's like a huge fear that they have, that we've talked to. That's like one of the big fears that they have is, hey, am I going to leave? They've made money from crypto already, but to leave their full-time gig, to go do crypto full-time, like what were some of the things or some of the steps that you took to ensure that it was a safe move for you?
Right. So I began paying off all my debt. Right. I paid off all my college loans. Sally Mae. I I got rid of my car early on in the year, and I mean nice car, like nice Mercedes, right? But I'm like, you know what? I barely drive, right? And every time I travel, my company pays for it. So let me just kind of like not worry about having this expense, right? So I kind of began to live not so frugal, but I downsized my lifestyle, right?
It's interesting you say that, because if I was single again, which my wife does not want me. I don't want to be single, but if I were to start with Lyft and Uber and stuff, I wouldn't even own a car.
Right, yeah. So now I just Uber everywhere.
Yeah, like to me, that's just I buy a car and I use it like 5-10 minutes a day.
Right.
If most, and 99% of the time that car is just sitting there and it's a depreciating asset. And it's not even an asset. It's just a depreciating pile of metal,
Right.
So
yeah, then I began just kind of. I was always an entrepreneur. Always had other things I was doing. I was doing stuff on e-commerce, right? So I was selling stuff on Amazon. I was also doing stuff on Airbnb, right? So I kept on doing those different side hustles. But more importantly, though, I said, hey, you know what? Let me focus on building my personal brand. All right. So back then, it was the brand just more about being an entrepreneur and helping other people in college.
Hold on. People are saying there's no video for some reason. Let me see here. Okay. Can you guys see video now?
I can see it.
Okay, so we had some people in the live chat there that said that there was no video, right? Okay. Somebody's saying that they only see your video. Can you guys see my video? Maybe it's just with technology only. For some reason, they say they can only see your video.
Huh.
All right, that's fine. You know, they only see your video. That's fine. This is about you anyway.
Right.
So, all right. So go ahead and continue on how you.
Yeah. So the plan was to leave IBM in 12 months, right? So initially it was January 2018, right? Like that time frame, right? So I said, okay, let me just kind of save up money and just pay off all my debt and also make other sources of income, right? To a point where I'm making as much money monthly as I am making from IBM from my side hustles, right?
Okay.
I was basically just kind of blogging and sharing via podcast videos about the process and other side hustles I had, right? So I was doing that for a bit. Then I noticed, hey, you know what? The best side hustle I have is cryptocurrency investing, right? Because I'm basically like, you invest in something and it goes up 1 or 2x in a month. It's insane, right? So I'm like, hey, let me stop all this other nonsense and just focus on this. And so I began focusing on that, and I was just living and breathing this 24/7. Right, to point, some days I was not sleeping. Like I would wake up at 4 a.m. watching my stocks and trades or whatever, right? Because people are trading in China, in Korea, in India, wherever, right? And the best thing I did was have a mastermind group, right? So me and my small group of friends and other people, about 12 of us were on Telegram. We had our own private group where we just talked about and shared different ideas every single day. But we were talking probably over hundreds of messages every single day about different things, right? So having that close group of friends, you know, in real life, who are basically supporting you every single day and supporting each other as you're going through investing, helped us grow so much.
You know, one of the things that I noticed that, you know, one of the biggest mistakes that I made growing up, you know, is that there's this bullshit belief that, you know, of the self-made millionaire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the reality is that there's no such thing as a self-made millionaire. You know, to become a millionaire, you need a team of people to help you, people to advise you, people to guide you, people to point you in the right direction, people who have made the mistakes already. They've been down that path, and now, you know, they can give you a hand. You know what I'm saying? So it's like whenever people, you know, trying to see if you can do it by yourself, you know, is like the biggest bullshit I ever heard, you know. So if you're out there and you're listening to this and you think you're going to become a millionaire by yourself, that's a crock of shit. You know what I'm saying? That's a bunch of lies.
Absolutely.
A bunch of myth. You have to associate yourself with other people that, you know, that are on that track, or even better, somebody that's already done it.
Right,
you know, someone that's already done it, so that, you know, and that's why, you know, if you guys are watching this, you guys notice that we only bring people on, like when we bring people on, usually if you wonder why we bring people from other YouTube channels, it's because I have talked to them in private, and I know that, you know, that there's a good chance that they have succeeded, you know, without looking at their accounts. I can just talk to them in private, and some of the things that they say lets me know that, okay, you know, these guys have retired, you know, from cryptocurrency investing. They've made it, you know, let's bring them on so they can share their experience with others. You know, I'm not going to bring some clown that's never bought a Bitcoin before, or who's never made, you know, 2x or 5x or 10x or 100x before, and come on and talk about their experience when they haven't done it yet. You know what I'm saying? So that's awesome, man. You know, so hey, talk about how you know, how the channel, your channel has helped you to become a better trader or investor.
Yeah, so initially I was following this concept called Gary Vaynerchuk has this concept called document the process, right? Where it says, as opposed to just kind of putting out content, just document your journey and your experience while trying to strive for something, right? So I said, hey, let me just document the process of me doing research on ICOs. I mean, because ICOs, during the summertime, the ICO bubble was pretty big. And I said, yeah, it was huge, right? I said, hey, so I just fired up my live stream, began live streaming me going through, doing homework, looking up all these crappy ICOs, right? And trying to find that diamond in the rough, and people came and people loved just watching me do that for 3 hours. Right. And it was kind of different because I think most people in the space weren't really transparent. Right. But I mean, I wasn't trying to pretend I was somebody, right? I was just very transparent. People asked me any question, I would answer it. Right. And people just kind of like that authenticity. And that's kind of where the audience began to gravitate and kind of come every single. I was doing live streams twice a week. Each live stream was about 2 to 3 hours long. And so back then, nobody was really doing that on YouTube. And I think they liked that because they could just come and ask me any question as I'm going through that research.
Okay. Yeah, that's I think that's what got our channel, popular as a cryptocurrency investing channel. Also, back when we first started in 2013, where the hell are you gonna go to find somebody that's gonna talk about cryptocurrency investing?
Right.
You are lucky. You and your crew are freaking lucky that you guys got into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency investing without worrying about it being a scam. Like, no bullshit. Like imagine. Back then we were still worried when I got back, first heard about Bitcoins, back in 2012 when I was working at an energy brokerage firm in Dallas. Man, back then I was still thinking it was a scam. Matter of fact, I still thought it was that like there were still lingering thoughts that it might still be a scam. Bitcoin. I'm not talking about the altcoins. I'm talking about
Bitcoin itself.
Yeah. In 2013, in 2014, and it wasn't till like the end of 2014, right? And believe it or not, when the bear market was at the bottom, when Bitcoins fell from like $1,200 down to like, $200, that's when finally I realized that, this is not going to go away. It's not bullshit. This is for real. Back when everybody had given up and sold their Bitcoins, and I was buying more of it. I was buying, every time, I was buying it up. I was buying it up, whenever, but back then, the Bitcoin network was completely different from the network it was today. Like today, I'd never buy up all the Bitcoins. But back then, like every penny that I did not, I would work, and then whatever I did not need to pay my monthly bills and stuff, I would just go buy all of it with Bitcoins. Yeah, like whatever I could. Like, I'd buy one here, two there, half here. That I just buy whatever I could, and keep in mind, it was not a lot. I don't want you guys to think that, hey, he was buying up thousands and thousands and thousands. I would buy like half here, one there, whatever I could afford at that time. Back then, buying a $400 or $500 Bitcoin was still a lot of money.
Right.
It takes a lot of balls to buy it while the price is going down. But as I came from a trading background. I was trading stocks, Forex, things like that already. And I knew that you buy whenever everybody's selling so that you can get your position. You don't buy it whenever it's running up, So at least that's what my strategy was, and the guys that coached me how to trade and the guys that taught me how to trade that used to work on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, that's the guys that used to trade back in the ECN days, back when electronic trading just first came on the internet. Those guys, the way they taught me was that, hey, you want to get an order filled, you buy it whenever everybody's selling. You don't wait until everybody's buying and you're fighting in line, trying to cut in line to buy the same position. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you this, man. Like, if there's, obviously we talked about you breaking the golden handcuffs and leaving the professional world. Let's talk about what is your 3 biggest lessons for beginners. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, like if somebody was coming to Bitcoin today, they haven't bought one Bitcoin yet or one crypto yet, and they're starting today. Well, what would you do? Like, I know you're not a financial advisor, but if Ian had to start today,
I just started over today. What would I do?
Right? What would you do?
The first thing is you have to dive right in and buy some Bitcoin, Ethereum, or whatever. So you become invested in the process. Right?
Are you talking about like $1 worth?
$1. So with me, right, I just bought $100 worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum to start off with, right?
That's what I would do too. Start with just buy $100 worth of Bitcoins and then just go from there. Before you do any more research, just get $100.
Yeah, so just kind of learn the form of buying, storing that in a wallet, all that stuff, right? The second thing I did, and I would do still, is I went out there and I got the 2 best books on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, right? I bought the book Digital Gold by a New York Times writer, and the other one was called The Age of Cryptocurrency. right? So those kind of give you the history of the entire space. So you kind of get two different perspectives, right? But those are the best books on Amazon in terms of ratings and reviews.
Okay, so you're talking about technology books, right? Those are not trading books, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, so we want to make sure that the people understand that those are not trading. They're just blockchain. Bitcoin 101 books.
Yeah, Bitcoin for beginners, right? About the space, the history, right? The people involved, right? Then the next thing I did is just kind of form a small group of people, right? And kind of stay in touch on a daily basis, just learning and teaching each other, right? Sharing whatever you guys learn, right? So if somebody finds a cool article about Bitcoin or Ethereum, right, share that with your group, right? So kind of build a small mastermind group to kind of, that helps you grow so much faster when you're trying to.
Okay, so let's just make sure that for the audience that have not read Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich book, where he talks about building a mastermind. A mastermind, guys, is a group of like-minded people trying to accomplish the same goals, and they're trying to go in the same direction, right? So when you guys hear us talk, me and Ian talk about mastermind, right? That's what we're talking about. People with like-minded, and they're trying to accomplish the same thing, same goals.
Yeah,
right?
You have to make sure they're like-minded, right? So with us, we made sure everybody in our mastermind owned Bitcoin. Right?
Yeah.
So
like
there was no way you're getting in.
Yeah, and no cancers in there. No negative naysayers. Oh, that's not going to happen. Like if you want to talk about, I know that you've said many times that your goal is to buy a basketball team, right? A professional basketball team. If you got some jackass in your mastermind tells you you're an idiot, that's never going to happen, you're too black to do that, or anything of that bullshit, get him out of there. You don't need his ass in there. You don't need no cancers like that in your life. You need people that's going to show you and give you words of encouragement. Not knock you down. Yeah.
Positive thinking, positive vibes only, as they say.
Yeah. One of whenever people talk about the ghetto mindset or the poverty mindset, when I was growing up in the projects and in the ghetto east of Houston, right? We had these numbnuts telling you, like you that's not gonna happen because you're not white. I'm like, what the hell's that? Yeah. There's rich Asian people in America. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's never gonna happen. You don't have a college education or you're a high school dropout. It's not gonna happen. I'm like, there's people. Bill Gates dropped out of college. Mark Zuckerberg dropped out of college. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Well, Steve Jobs, the same thing. So okay, so the first one, you said the first lesson is the first thing you would do as a beginner, right? Is to just buy $100 worth of Bitcoins. And then the second one is to surround yourself with like-minded people and create like a miniature mastermind. What's the third thing that you would do?
Next thing is be willing to invest in your education, right? And there are many forms of doing that, right? So for us, the first time we truly invested in our education was going to a conference, Token Summit. I mean, the price was pretty high. I think it was like $500 a ticket, right? We're like, hey guys, do you think we should go? All right, it's all the way.
Hey, you got that back when we took you out to dinner.
Right.
You got that back when we took you out to dinner.
Yeah, so I was like, hey guys, trust me. Like this conference will pay itself back tenfold. Believe me.
Yeah.
Right. So I convinced everybody to go. We went there, and it changed our lives, really. Because the people you meet there, they've all also invested in their education as well. So everybody there is serious, right?
Yeah, that's one thing, like, and I'll share this with you. I shared it with your buddy Hen already, right? But when we first met you guys, I told the rest of my team, I said, hey man, look around here, man. What do you see?
Yeah.
and everybody, and he's like, it's all young white guys and Asian guys. I'm like, yeah, but look at these two guys. There's only two black guys here at the whole conference. What does that tell you? These are the only two black guys that we see here at the conference that are crypto investors, man. These guys are serious, man. We need to keep an eye on We need to keep an eye on these guys. They up to something. We need to keep a close eye on these two guys, man. And so, Leon, my trading buddy, he always tells me, hey Ty, you make good calls on the technical analysis and stuff. But there's one thing that he always tells me behind the scenes that you guys are not aware of is like, hey, you make good calls on people. You know, and I said, that's right, man, because I grew up on the streets. You got to be street smart. You got to know when somebody's trying to hustle you and when somebody's fake and somebody's for real. You know what I'm saying? And I told him, I said, the fact that we're at a cryptocurrency conference and it's all like, I would say like what, about 70% were young Caucasian males, right? And then the rest were like young Asian males, right? And there was like maybe 5 girls in there. And it's you and your buddy. It was you and your buddy. And I'm like, hey man, you know, these, you know, you guys were like in suits and everything. And I'm like, man, we got to keep a close eye on these guys, man. They stand out. They're stepping outside the box, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure. You have to, right? You have to be willing to step outside the comfort zone to achieve your goals.
Yeah, all the guys that grew up in my ghetto, in my hood, that they all still live in the same house. They refuse to even leave the city.
Oh wow!
They refuse to even leave the neighborhood that they grew up in. I went back there one time to show my wife where I grew up because she didn't believe that I grew up in the ghetto. And I drove through it, you know, and she's like, "What is this place?" You know. and then I'm like, "Yep, look, there's my, you know, so and so used to live right there." And then we drove by, and there's, you know, still sitting in the front porch, you know? And I'm like, man, these guys, you know, they won't change. You know, the same guy that owned the barbecue stand is still there on the same corner. It's still there after 20 years.
Right.
20 years. You know, he's still in the shed selling barbecue. You know, it's not like he franchised out there. His barbecue, you know, he's got a barbecue franchise all over the state or something. It's still the same shed selling barbecue there 20 years ago, you know? If you don't step outside the box, you're still going to be in the same box that you grew up in.
Yeah, and just to kind of add on to that, right? So my perspective, I feel like people have to set really large goals because that motivates them to change and move out their comfort zone, right? Because I feel like once you achieve something, you have to kind of raise the bar and keep on raising the bar, right? That's why people kind of see me joking about buying a basketball team, but that's because that's a huge goal, right? I can't just stay on my porch and buy a basketball team, right? I have to get there, right? I have to hustle to greatness towards that basketball team, right? So that's so that's why I feel like you have to set large goals. Once you achieve them, you keep on raising the bar, right?
Okay, so speaking of raising the bar, right? So when I talked to you, your goal was, you know, to leave IBM, be a full-time crypto investor, you know, start your own channel, things like that. So what's the next step for Balina now? What's the next bar that you're trying to cross now? Because now you're a full-time crypto investor like you wanted to since we last talked. What's the next step?
So the next step is huge, right?
What's the next challenge, man?
The next challenge, besides the basketball team and the Lambo, is to kind of help evangelize blockchain in this space, right? Investing in this space, right? So I want to kind of create more quality content, more high quality content in this space, right? Right now I'm working on making a brand new podcast, right? Just really on this space. I'm working on kind of having better articles, better content, and also just better investments, right? So I'm trying to kind of become a whale investor, right? So that's something I'm actively working on per se. I can't really say much that kind of disclosing stuff.
Hey man, don't be holding back on my audience, man. Don't be holding back on my audience, man. I mean, so everything freely with you on our channel. Don't be holding back on my audience, man.
So I did speak with you, right? So, but I mean, right now, I guess every time I kind of enter a space, I kind of say, okay, who's doing it the best in the space, right? And what can I do to get on their level, right? So I call this greatness matching, right? So you find the Kobe Bryants, the Michael Jordans, you see what they're doing, then you try to hang out with them, you try to match them, you try to elevate your game to their game, right? So right now in this space, right, people I admire are people like Olaf Wilson, Olaf Carlson, right? Guys like them who has a huge crypto fund, was on the cover of Forbes, stuff like that, right? So I'm like, this guy's doing big stuff. Like, what can I do to step my game to his level?
Hey, can you give us like a preview of what the look on your face will be when you're on the cover of Forbes? Give us a quick preview, bro. Give us a quick preview, man.
I don't know how it will be. I'll be like, hey, I made it.
Is that how it's gonna be? You have your head tilt back?
But yeah, man. So things like that is just kind of me, kind of elevate the bar, right? So people I admire, people like Gary Vee, what he's doing with entrepreneurship, right? He has the Daily V, where he kind of shows the daily grind and hustle of being an entrepreneur, right? Maybe I could kind of start something like that, like some kind of daily vlog of just showing me traveling the world, trying to find different companies to invest in this space, right? Kind of hunting down that ICO, right? So the many different things I'm kind of exploring right now, right? So stay tuned for sure.
Hey, let me ask you this, right? Are you planning on relocating or anything? Because I notice that a lot of times when guys make it, because
So
you're in
in
the
a way,
Washington D.C. area, right?
right, yeah. So yeah, right now my lease ends this month. I've moved all my stuff in my parents' place. I'm actually broadcasting in my parents' place right now. They're in India on vacation, but I'm here in the house, right? But I'll be mobile. So the idea is I'll just kind of be a nomad, wandering around the globe, right? Post up for somewhere for a week to a month or so, right? Right now I'll be traveling to different conferences on a weekly and monthly basis and meeting people in this space, right? So the plan is to travel the world, right? So right now I'm possibly going to be flying out to I'll be at Blockchain 360 conference on a panel for ICOs next week in New York City. Then from there, I'm going to Dallas for a conference for how to make better content. Then from there, I'll be going to Poland because there's an ICO that I'm trying to explore and kind of see and what exactly they're working on, right? So I'll be constantly traveling, constantly mobile, right? So wherever my journey takes me, I'll be.
Okay, so we gonna meet up when you're in Dallas, and maybe we'll do some
Yeah,
update
I'll try.
videos at that time. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
and then also the I don't know where else the next time I'll meet you at, but I definitely will see you when you come to Dallas, and then we can shoot some
Yeah.
update videos then. You
I'll
know,
be
maybe
a token
maybe we'll
seller.
go down to the Dallas, Federal Reserve. They have like several Federal Reserve branches,
Uh-huh.
and Dallas
Yep.
is one of them. Atlanta is another one.
Uh-huh.
Regional offices. Dude, it's like gigantic,
Uh-huh.
like huge.
Huge.
Like it's like the biggest building in every city you go to.
Wow.
You know,
Like a Fort
it's
Knox.
no joke. Yeah, it's like LeonFood.com and I shot a Bitcoin video one time in front of it. I don't think they appreciate it because they sent security guards out and ran us off. Can you believe that? We were sitting there shooting a video about how Bitcoin's going to take over the Federal Reserve in front of their building.
Yeah.
We did it as a prank, as a joke, and then all of a sudden,
Like
my wife is sitting there holding the camera, and she's like, she's doing this. She's like, hey,
Somebody's
like somebody's coming, and we turn around, and the security guard's like, hey, man, you guys need to get off the lawn. They were not like kicking us off their, we were on their lawn,
on the
so
ground.
they said you guys stay on the sidewalk,
Yeah.
So, but that was hilarious, How about, hey, let's talk. I always like to ask people whenever I bring them on, like, what was like probably like the 3 biggest mistakes that you made when you first started out that you wish, man, I wish, and it cost you so much, either in time or in money, to make those mistakes, like so that our audience can learn from it and not make it,
The first mistake I did was over trading. Right, I got so excited about the space. I was staying up 24/7, trying to trade everything. All right, everything that moved, pretty much. Right? So after a while, I went on vacation. I said, "Hey, you know what? Let me just slow down, calm down. Right, I don't have to trade all the time. Right, so I scaled back to just doing 1 trade a week. Now to just doing like 1 swing trade a month, even. Right, and from there, also just kind of realizing what your background is and what you're good at, right, and what you're not good at, right? So for me, being an entrepreneur, having kind of just began my own companies, I know what it takes to kind of build a company, right? And also being able to judge other entrepreneurs, right? So I kind of went away more from being a trader to being more of a venture capitalist in terms of, hey, you know what? I think I can actually analyze these ICOs with a better perspective because I've actually tried to launch my own companies before. And I know, okay, this guy's a scam. This guy's BS, right? Like, there's no way they can do this because I have an app right now in the App Store, right? And I did that for 2 years. So I know what it takes to actually build some kind of software and put it and ship it out there and try to have an audience come and download that software, right? So I think that kind of made me really qualified to judge other startups, right? So that's kind of, I kind of in a way kind of like get in where you fit in, right?
Yeah. So that's so would you say that, like, your investing style is more of a fundamental analyst, where you analyze the fundamentals
Right, right.
and the numbers in the company. Because for me, like on our team, like Leon is more of a fundamental trader and investor. He looks at the fundamentals of what the health of the company is. For me, I lean more towards being a technical trader. That's why you see me like post tweets on technical analysis, and Leon does not do that as much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
So
now,
I would say I'm more kind of a Leon in a way. Although I do bring my background from analytics and data, working at IBM for 3 years in data and analytics, right? So I kind of have the Moneyball approach. For those who don't know, Moneyball was basically uh, in baseball. There's a team that basically had no money called the Oakland A's that had to compete against the New York Yankees, who have all the money in the world and could buy anybody. Right, so the Oakland A's, their strategy came to a point where they had to analyze the stats and figure out, okay, how can we get the best bang for our buck? How can we get the most undervalued players at the cheapest price, right? Who can still compete with the Yankees, right? So I kind of took that same approach because working at IBM, I used analytics and data trying to predict March
where
Madness.
did you get that information, man? Did you get a early copy of our cryptocurrency investing blueprint or something, man? Because we talk about that in our cryptocurrency investing blueprint. It hasn't been released yet, man.
Oh, really?
Huh? Yeah.
maybe it was meant to be,
Yeah.
Fine. Foreshadowing. but yeah, so I kind of, because at IBM I was doing this for customers and also just for fun, right? I would use analytics and data trying to predict March Madness brackets, right? So kind of like the casino gambling, right? Odds and having my own computing system. So I said, hey, you know what? After taking so many losses on ICOs, because the other thing I learned is don't chase ICOs, don't chase the FOMO, right? Fear of missing out, right? I said, oh, this ICO is backed by Tim Draper. I'll invest just because he's backing it, right?
Yeah.
So after taking so many losses on that, I said, and I missed Metal ICO because it was a very under the radar ICO. I said, hey, there has to be a better way to analyze all these ICOs, right? So kind of like how with investing, people have trading strategies, right? They have technical analysis and charting and stuff. For ICOs, it wasn't really there, right? So I kind of brought the venture capitalist mindset along with data and analytics to evaluate ICOs. So now my strategy, the way I do it is I get the best at performing the best ICOs of all time in terms of ROI, right? Right now, it's a list of 22 ICOs. Then I plot multiple data points, right, in terms of their token metrics, in terms of the team, right, what's their background, what's their history, in terms of their advisors, in terms of all this other stuff. Then I kind of, using stats and analytics, I say, okay, what do the best ICOs of all time have in common, right? What does Ethereum have in common with Stratus, with Neo, with all these other ICOs, right? Then I kind of use those data points to come up with a grading system, and I apply that towards upcoming ICOs. Right, so I said, okay, this ICO is coming up. How does this measure up towards the best ICOs of all time? What's its grade based on the system? Right, so that's kind of my strategy right now. It's been working well so far for me. My audience likes it as well. I mean, I'm definitely not the best by any means, but I'm just saying, like, do what works for you, right? Everybody has their own system, right? Kind of like trading.
Can you would you be interested in sharing with the audience what's the biggest winner that you've had, like not in terms of dollars or bitcoins, just in terms of percentage?
Percentage.
Right. Well,
right.
Yeah, it's just in terms of like because it's not even in percentage, because in cryptocurrencies things move so crazy that we don't even talk about 10% gains or 50% gains. We talk in terms of multiples. Like 100% gain would be a 1x. So like 2x would be a 200% gain. So what's the biggest multiple win that you've had?
The biggest multiple win so far has been District 0x, DNT. It was under the radar token sale, and it was 15x in 1 month, right? 15x multiple in 1 month.
Crap.
And it was so under the radar, right? But it was I had it as my ICO of the month. It was my favorite ICO. The team was good. I mean, they're all guys from Coinbase, right? The Coinbase Mafia, it's called nowadays, right? It's kind of like the PayPal Mafia from venture capital and investing, right? So that's kind of what kind of put me on the map, is when my audience was following me and I said, oh, this guy was bullish on DNT from day one when nobody else even believed in it, right? And they started doing a 15x in 1 month. They're like, holy shit. So that was by far my biggest multiple so far. ICO.
Okay. Okay. So you mentioned earlier that your biggest mistake, was over trading,
Uh-huh.
right? Making too many trades. What were the other two mistakes that you made that were that cost you a crap load of money and time?
I tried margin trading, and I realized that's not
Whoa,
for me.
whoa, whoa.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely not. Do not margin trade in crypto. You can margin trade in stocks, in
Yeah.
Forex, in futures. You do not short and you do not margin trade in cryptocurrencies, guys.
I
Okay?
learned that
I've
one the hard
lost so
way.
much money. Maybe that's my bad that I didn't make a video clearly stating that. You do not margin trade or short in cryptocurrencies right now. Maybe things will change in the future, but
Right.
right now, as of 2017, 2018, going into 2018, do not short or do not margin trade.
Yeah, so I definitely learned that one.
Okay. So what's your third mistake?
My third mistake.
Yeah, you said the first
I
one
would
was
say,
over trading.
yeah, over trading, margin trading, also the ICOs, like kind of like over investing in ICOs, right? The other one, though, I would say is just kind of asking for help, right? Like, don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it, right? I mean, there's always somebody out there who's smarter than you in a particular topic, right? So kind of finding domain experts, right, and being able to just ask for help, right?
You, if yeah, like that's I absolutely believe that. I want to elaborate on what you just said there about asking for help. And you had mentioned earlier in the show that you believe in educating, believe in education, right? And that's why some people would say that the broke people, they would say that you spent money to go to Token Summit, but the smart investors and the people that know how to make life-changing money, they say that you invested money
Right, it's
to go
investment.
to. Yeah, you invested in yourself. You didn't spend that money, you invested it in yourself. And there's a big difference there, because the people that you met there and things like that, that's a game changing
Yeah,
for
it's
you.
changed my life.
Yeah. Like a lot, when I remember when I first started learning how to trade stocks, if you add up like all the money that I invested into trading education and courses and getting coached and getting mentored and everything, and the losses that I had to, the mistakes that I made, if you just add up everything, whether it's losses in the market or the money that I invested into getting trained and educated and learning how to trade in the traditional markets, right? This is long before crypto. It would probably be about $100,000.
Wow.
And people say, whenever my friends or people say that, oh, that's stupid, that's crazy, you could have done a lot of things with that. And I'm like, yeah, but I wouldn't be retired, in my mid 40s.
Right.
I'd still be working for the man.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
I don't look at that $100,000 that I invested over like a 10-year period to learn how to trade. I don't look at that as a bad investment, because my wife has never had to work one day in her life since she's been with me. And
No.
at the rate that I'm going, my son and my daughter, may never have to work, a 9-to-5 job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that to me, that $100,000 or so that I invested into trading education over the years, 5,000 here, 10,000 there, 2,000 here, I remember when I first started, I was buying trading books, I didn't have a lot of money, and I would just, I said, hey, let me get a book, and I would invest like $25, and I would literally, like, whatever money I made, I had a little bit at the end of the month, I would just save like $20, and then after about 2 months, 3 months, I would have enough to get me one trading book, and I would go read it, and then I would read it like 2-3 times. Like, there's a famous technical analysis book called Technical Analysis Explained. I'm just saying that, but don't go buy it. It's a waste of time. Don't buy it. Okay, it's a complete waste of time. It was written so long ago, before the internet and computer trading was out, that most of those books are just bullshit. They're garbage, because it doesn't work when it comes to, it doesn't apply in electronic trading. Okay, but dude, that thing was about the size of a Houston phone book. Like, it's like, I'm not kidding. It's like as thick as a Coke can. A Coca-Cola can. And I read that sucker twice, man. My eyes were like blurry and dizzy and shit after reading that thing, man, because the fonts were like an 8-point font. And it explained, it was like the technical analysis explained, it was like the encyclopedia of technical analysis, right? And I read it from every page in that book, like twice. Dude, it took me a week to recover from the dizziness. You know, I spent weeks reading it, man. But, you know, if I look back, you know, was it a waste of time?
No.
You know, what was it? Yes, I could. I wish that I had myself coaching myself how to trade back then. I would have learned how to trade much faster and easier and not lose so much money before I learned how to do it. But my point is this, man: the more you learn, the more you earn. Absolutely. I have every dollar that I have ever invested into getting properly educated on how to make money, right? It has made me 100 times more, 100 times more easily, you know? So even though I still have all those books, one of these days, you know, I might do a tour, you know, and give you guys a tour of all my trading books, you know, and then show you, you know, which ones I read first and what I learned from it and which ones were bullshit and which ones still bullshit, you know? But when you're a beginner, you don't know. When you're a beginner, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? So what do you have? So in addition, you said that now you're taking. So those are the 3 mistakes. Well, we talked about your 3 mistakes. We talked about the 3 things that you learned, lessons learned. What about your 3 favorite coins, man? We gotta get to the point where we talk about your 3 favorite coins, man.
My 3 favorite coins.
Yeah, 3 favorite coins. You know, and you know, full disclosure, right? I'm asking Ian what his 3 favorite coins are. He's not, you know, here to pump the coins or anything. He's just giving the audience what his 3 favorite coins are. So what's your 3 favorite and the reasons why?
Yeah, so my baby, DNT, District 0X, is still my favorite coin right now. Right?
Are you attached to it, man? Are you emotionally attached to it because it made you 15X, man?
No, because I still think there's a ton of potential, right? So it's basically a decentralized marketplace platform, right? Just think about how many marketplaces there are, right? This is coming from me, myself, as an entrepreneur who's founded his own marketplace in the App Store, right? So I think I'm finally tuned and educated to really see the value in this, right? So imagine a decentralized Craigslist, a decentralized Amazon, a decentralized eBay. All of these are marketplaces, platforms that can be built on District 0X's platform, and they'll be launching their first marketplace this month, right? So I think when they launch that, I'm very, very bullish on that. Right.
Now, are you familiar with the Particle privacy coin project? Yes. Because they have the Particle private place coming out too. Is it similar to that, or you're just investing in all of them?
No, I mean, so Particle is basically more like an e-commerce marketplace, right? But District 0X is a platform that lets you build any kind of marketplace you want, right? So
okay.
Yeah, so imagine being able to build Particle, being able to build Craigslist, eBay, Airbnb. Airbnb is a marketplace as well, right? So any place where 2 sides come and exchange things of value, right? They basically provide the platform to do that, to build apps on top of that, right? So that's the one coin where I'm very, very bullish on, especially this month. The next coin I like is Chainlink. Chainlink was very low-key ICO, but they're trying to change the world in the sense of bringing smart contracts and giving them access to outside data, oracles. Right? So imagine being able to connect a smart contract to other APIs, from payment gateways like API, Venmo, to other APIs from Facebook and social, to the weather, right? Having the outside world talk to blockchain smart contracts, right? So I think that's a very big project. It's also done pretty well. It's about a 4 or 5x in a month from the ICO price, and they're currently talking at Sibos conference, and they have a proof of concept with Swift, which is a very big banking system. They're basically like the plumbing for banks, right? So in a way, it's competing with other banks out there. All right. So the last coin that I like. Okay, that's a tough one.
Okay, so you got DNT, right?
DNT, Link, Chainlink, right?
Chainlink.
The last one that I like.
I'm surprised you didn't say like Ethereum or Bitcoin or something like that, man. I really am, man. I really am.
I mean, so kind of going back to my investment strategy, right? I find the undervalued, those cheap coins, right? So similar to how the Oakland A's can't buy the stuff like the Yankees can, right? So I'm trying to find those that have lots and lots of growth. Okay, so the third one I like is OneChain. It's a recent Chinese ICO. I call them the Chinese Ripple, right? In the sense that it's a distributed ledger platform trying to kind of compete with Ripple and other banking, and basically to take over the financial industry, where they can send funds no matter what the platform is, whether it's Ethereum or what have you, right? So I'm very, very bullish on one chain. I would say that one is not out yet. The ICO closed recently, but they'll be launching their network next month.
Okay, so I asked the audience to submit some questions for you, you know, to wrap up the interview here, you know, this session. And if you guys want to submit any questions for Ian Balina, please put it in the chat box. And if you guys can, include the city that you guys are in, so we have an idea where you guys are, you know, watching from, right? So first question, Ian, for you from the audience is from Ken Lascitello. And he said that you named a lot of small cap tokens. What are your favorite large caps? Like, you give us your 3 large caps. You know,
large caps.
Yeah, whether you invest in it or not, you know, it doesn't matter. Just give us your favorite 3 large caps.
I would say Ethereum. I mean, I think Ethereum is definitely doing big things, right? With their dApps, distributed applications, right? Bitcoin is still Bitcoin, all right? So that I like as well. The third one, I would say, wow, third one is tough. I still like Stratus, although it's kind of been not doing squat last few months. All right, I'm still
hey, you know, they have a big community, man. Like, out of all the videos, updates that we've made, you know, like the one that we recently did about Stratus had the most views, and they were like a few thousand views in just a very short period of time compared to some of the other coins that we've done updates on, man. So we sent our honorable grandmaster, legendary, world-renowned leonfu.com out to their headquarters in London, and got an update from, you know, so if you have time, check it out. You know, he got the update straight from Chris Trues at their London office.
Nice.
You know, so, yeah. So the next thing, next question is from Todd Toe. For you, Ian, what do you think about starting a Bitcoin ATM business? I'll let you answer that, and then I also have an answer for that.
Oh,
I did look into that.
I've only seen one Bitcoin ATM once, actually twice, when I was in Canada, in Vancouver. Surprisingly, not much in America. I mean, I guess it's a good business. It's a good local business to have, right? I mean, if you think you can start it, try it out. Why not, right? I mean, I personally wouldn't start one, but that's just me, right?
Okay, so we passed it up. We had I had a buddy who we were going to diversify our cryptocurrency investing and get into the ATM market, especially with this huge bull run this year. And we found out in the state of Texas that there are certain money service business licenses that you have to get. Okay. Like you have to be licensed to operate the ATM with the state, right? Because you're exchanging money. Right, and then the other thing too is that the ATM machines only hold so much cash each day.
Right.
And you know, first of all, you have to like find a good area where it's safe for people to go and exchange their cash, the U.S. dollars for the Bitcoins. And then the other thing too is that you have to constantly go back and refill it. If you do find a good spot, which is hard, but when you do find a good spot, you have to go back and refill it with, you know, exchange the U.S. dollars, the Bitcoins, and reload the machine, because it's not like the machine holds $100,000. I think it only holds like a few $1,000. And we looked at the amount of time that it takes to go and reload the machine over and over, and the security risk that you have to take to carry that much cash back and forth, you know, to the ATM machine. You know, we didn't feel that the risk was worth it, and we made way more money just trading and investing in cryptos the way we do. So like right now, we have not found any other business or any other venture outside of investing in crypto that makes more money than investing in crypto.
No, crypto's where it's at, man.
Yeah, like, you know, when you pull a 15x in 1 month, you know, it's really hard to look for something else.
Right.
You know, I mean, you're like wading through the haystack looking for that next needle in the haystack that'll give you another 15x, man. And even if it takes you 2-3 months to do it, you don't give a crap, man. Yeah. You know, so all right. So my opinion is that Bitcoin ATMs are not that profitable like people think. And if it is, it's just too much hassle. Like, I ain't got time for that. That's to me, that's not freedom. Like, you're going there and you're stuck having income. you know, yeah, now you're a slave to the ATM machine. You know, it's not like you can trust somebody to go and reload it with Bitcoins and cash, right? So next question here, okay, is from Village Cooking, right? He has a question for you, Ian, about any updates on your fund. Okay,
I can't discuss that.
Okay, so that's you have to that's a private matter, you know. So questions for Ty Zen. Props have had venture capital funding. I assume they haven't done as well as expected. Why do you think ICO will make a difference? Okay, so we went to New York and we did some software tests on an ICO that I mentioned on our channel. That's why the guys are asking about it. And yes, it is. I did not announce that it was the Props ICO at that time. From a company called YouNow. It's a live streaming video company, right? Because I wanted to make sure we had to finish doing our due diligence before we were able to, you know, say that it was the Props, because we didn't want people to think that just because we review it and we test their software that we just, you know, that it's something that you need to jump in and invest in. We wanted to make sure that we do our complete due diligence. So I'm happy to say, and I feel better about saying that, yes, it was the Props ICO token project that is from a company called YouNow. They do like over $2 million a month in sales. They have like over 50 employees. We interviewed over, you know, like probably about 15 of their employees while we were there at their office in Times Square in New York. And I have more videos coming out on it, guys. I don't want to take up Ian's time here. This is on Ian. So let's focus on him, right? And I'll make separate videos about that Props project later, okay? And then, you know, Ian is going to be talking about it on his channel too. So
I'm actually talking to them in 20 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's wrap this up then. He named a lot of small caps. What's your favorite large caps? From Boston. He just answered that already. Okay. And let me see. Enigma to the Moon from James Solent.
Enigma. Yeah. I'm still bullish on Enigma. It's basically a trading platform and data marketplace that lets you build your own decentralized hedge fund. So they do have some news coming out in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned on that one.
Hey, Marco X said, hey, have you ever felt FOMO before?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
That's a funny question. Every trader has suffered from FOMO, man. There's nobody that hasn't. If they tell you they haven't, they're full of shit.
Yeah.
Right? Ty, what are your three favorite coins? My three favorite coins, there's not three favorite coins, but there are three favorite sectors or buckets. We call it buckets on our channel, right? When we talk about a cryptocurrency, we always ask each other, okay, the minute that Ian tells me about a crypto, I always ask him, hey, what bucket is it in? Is it, you know, so like Made Safe, Storage Coin, Sia Coin, you know, things like that. Those are in the distributed computing bucket. Like Golem is in the distributed computing bucket. So my favorite buckets, I don't have three favorite coins, but I do have three favorite buckets. The first one is the privacy coin bucket, which includes like Dash, like Particle, like Zcash, like Pivx, like Zencash, Zcoin, like anything that has to do with privacy coins. I like that because that's a huge, huge issue. And if you guys go watch my Profits Potentials of Privacy Coins video series, that is the most comprehensive video research series that we have ever done on our channel. Okay, we're working on a couple more series that's very comprehensive, but by far the one that we spent the most time and it cost us the most money to do a documentary on the privacy coins is a series called Profit Potentials in Privacy Coins. So look for that, okay? So that's the first one, is the privacy coins. The second one is the distributed video content creation. So you guys know, like people like myself and Ian, we create video content. So, but we don't own the network. Like we're broadcasting on YouTube right now, but we don't own YouTube. So I like the project like Props that's coming out, right? Because it allows you to own a part of their network. You become part owner depending upon how many subscribers you have and the amount of content you have. And like right now, if you guys like, you know, what Ian and I are saying, you guys can't, you know, compensate us. You guys can't give us love. But on the Props project, if you guys hit the like button, right, then that pays us for talking and broadcasting here, right? It's not like Ian needs it or I need it, but hey, man, it's nice, you know, whenever, you know, you can reward your broadcasters with the things that they're saying. I believe in that, you know, and if somebody leaves a good comment or a good question, we get to hit the like button and, you know, pay you guys some crypto for it, to give you guys some Props tokens, you know? So if you guys want to tune in to Ian after this, he'll be talking to the props team, you know, and we'll be talking to them at a separate time also, and then you guys can learn more about it. Okay. The third one is the decentralized gambling bucket. So the privacy coin bucket, the decentralized content creation bucket, and the third bucket that I like are the gambling, decentralized gambling bucket. You know, like edgeless, wager, you know, coins like that. Which ones?
Funfair is one.
Yeah, Funfair, all those gambling coins. You know, I believe in that whole bucket. Okay. Next question, your favorite coins, right? I guess this is for you, Ian. This is from Co. Do you think we are in another 2013 crypto bubble? Right? Well,
I don't think so personally, but maybe I'm too brand new. I'm too new in this.
So let me at least answer that for Co, because at least I was there in Bitcoins. You know, we did broadcast at that time, so that's kind of like putting you on the spot because you didn't start investing until 2016. So let me answer that for you real quick to help you out here. In 2013, right, there was a bubble. I mean, the market crashed, right? There's this bullshit that everybody keeps talking about. There's a bubble, there's a bubble, there's a bubble. Every market has a bubble, so it's not anything new. That's like saying, hey, the sun is hot, or the snow is cold. No shit. That's the nature of the market. That's why we have a bull market and we have a bear market, right?
Right.
That's gonna exist in every market you go into. It's not just crypto. So whenever people say it's a bubble, whatever, I was like, what else is new? That's been happening since the beginning of trading. The goal here is to make money while it's in that market, whether it's up or, you know, making money on the short when it goes down, you know. But don't short in crypto. Only short in the traditional markets. Okay. So greetings from Dublin. Let me see. Hi, Ian from Mad Cow. I guess you know who Mad Cow is.
Hey, Mad Cow. How's it going, man?
So what's your thoughts on NEM from Zeno 314 Zeno?
Or NEM?
Yeah.
I think NEM is a solid project. I personally haven't really looked much into it since this bull run that it had recently, because my strategy is kind of different. I don't really, the only large cap I really take part in is Ethereum right now. But I mean, I didn't meet them at Token Summit, and they're pretty competent, and I do believe in what they're doing.
Mad Cow says, hello, Ian. Okay, so still going big in BTC. Well, you already said that you're not going big in BTC, right? You're in more of the altcoins like we are, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so say hello, Mad Cow. Again, this Mad Cow guys everywhere, right? Okay, so what's your thoughts on Stellar from IBM, from Mac Main?
Oh, I mean, it's big news, right? Especially for IBM itself, because IBM hasn't really, they've been anti-crypto. They love the blockchain, right? But trying to associate themselves with any cryptocurrency or crypto platform has been a huge no-no for them, right? So it's a pretty huge endorsement that IBM is getting into it. But being into Stellar, but being a former IBMer, I also know that their goals are different from the cryptocurrency investors' perspective, right? But I mean, Stellar, I'm not so bullish on it long term, right? So I would still stay away from that. That's my perspective, my opinion on that, right? But I think it's great news for them.
Okay. So what about Neo from Hourglass? He asked you about Neo.
Yeah. Oh, Neo has blown up, right? Neo, I think, is one of the best ICOs of all time right now. It's been going between top 2, even top 1 at one point.
That's one of my favorite, man. That was my biggest winner of all time, man. That's my biggest winner of all time, man. Freaking 30,000% gains, man, on that coin, man. 30,000%. When the hell you ever invest in something that grows 30,000%?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's
right?
Insane. Yeah.
Okay, real quick, and we'll wrap it up for you so you can jump on the next call, man. Technology says he's from San Diego. That's where I'm looking to move to at the end of this year. So maybe I'll see him out there when I get out there. But he says he's heading to Maryland soon. You're going to be at one of the crypto meetups there in the DMV area, the Delaware, Maryland, Virginia area, or the DC.
In DMV in DC, just send me the meetup. If I'm around, I'll stop by.
Okay. And then Red Zebra says you must be psychic. Oh, no, that's somebody else. No, it's somebody else, right? Okay. Let me see. Well, what do you think about Zephyr? We did an interview with their founder, Maxine Ryan. Do you know anything about Zephyr?
Yes, I looked
Is
into
that
it.
for ICO?
Yeah, I looked into it. I personally passed on it. It wasn't
Okay.
for me.
Okay. Well, not part of your strategy. Okay. How about
Yeah,
Graph Network?
that one I've not heard of. Graph Network.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, I've never heard of
ICO.
that one either. No, I haven't heard of that either. Okay, guys, I have to wrap it up. Okay. So that In can get on to his next show here. You know, he's a popular guy. You know, in demand, in demand, in demand. In.
Yeah.
Okay. So hey, thanks for joining us today, In.
Thanks for having me.
Let me put your video back up on the screen. So, what is the best way for people to follow you or check you out or follow your strategies or learn more of what you're doing? So go ahead and just let the audience know where to find you or how to follow you.
So the best way is on my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/hackingthesystem. I have weekly live streams where I go through kind of sharing my perspective on ICOs and token sales. I have AMAs where people, I'll come there for 2 hours, even 3 hours, and just answer any kind of question you guys want. I'm totally honest, totally transparent. I tell you what I know and what I don't know. I also tweet a lot at Diary of a Made Man. That's my handle on just about every media platform out there: Instagram, Twitter, even Snapchat. All right, and I also do have a Telegram group as well. So to access that, though, just go on my live streams. That's where I kind of disclose that.
Okay. And if you like these types of video interviews where we talk to people who have made it, you know, and living the crypto lifestyle and have quit their jobs and you know, retired and stuff, you know, and making bucket loads of life-changing money from cryptocurrency investing, you can follow our channel at www. Let me just put it on the screen. Right there at www.cryptocurrency.market/newsletter. That's where we send out all the announcements, new videos, and new stuff that we're working on when we go test ICO softwares. We put boots on the ground and test it. That's where you can follow us on. Okay, so thanks for coming on today, Ian. We'll look forward to seeing you. Look forward to seeing you when you're in Dallas, right? Let's go get some Texas barbecue together.
Nice. Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. So thanks for coming on to help everyone make some life-changing money here, guys. And then we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for coming on, Ian. All right. And this will conclude the broadcast.